Alright, so magandang araw ulit sa ating lahat, and then proceed na po tayo sa susunod nating lesson, which is all about the endocrine system. No? So another type naman siya ng ating organ system na tatalakayan, no? And then since di naman tayo nagmamadali, pwede na natin simulan yung lesson natin, no? And then alam naman natin ang endocrine system, no? Katulad ng sinabi ko sa previous lesson, magkasangga po sila ng nervous system. Mayroon silang linking relationship with each other, as well as sa iba din namang mga organ systems. And then, endocrine system is a complex network of glands and organs. It uses hormones to control and coordinate your body's metabolism, energy level, reproduction, growth and development, and response to injury, stress, and mood. So, the body is actually composed of two main communication pathways. They're the endocrine system and nervous system. Nervous system works with electrochemical signals that travel very fast and elicits immediate response. Endocrine system works with chemical called hormones that are carried by the blood throughout the body more slowly, and the response are slower and long-lasting. How does this system work? No. The body has many endocrine glands which secretes hormones into the blood. The bloodstream carries the hormones to a specific organ or a receptor that is programmed to receive them. So once the hormone gets to that organ, it gives the organ an instruction or several instructions. Some of these instructions can tell the body to produce acids to make more erythrocytes, or to secrete lesser leukocytes to absorb calcium, or to make the body move faster or even think faster. These hormones can also tell the cell if the body wants to divide and increase in size. This system is compared to how mail gets delivered, because the endocrine gland would be similar to someone who puts a letter in the mailbox, which is the analogous to the hormone being poured into the blood. Then the bloodstream, which serves as a mailman, carries the letter to where it is addressed to. This is now like an organ or receptor that was programmed to receive. So when the person who gets the mail reads the letter, it is like the organs that receives the hormone, which gives instructions to organs on what to do. So yun po yung responsibility nila. So proceed tayo sa hormones. It exhibits a very high level of specificity. No? So this means that it will only bind with a specific binding site in the body. Hormones also carry important information to different parts of the body. Because of these characteristics, hormones can regulate growth and development, control blood sugar levels and calcium levels in the blood and bones. So yan po yung sequences ng hormone towards dun sa mga nasabi ko kanina, just like yung regulate growth and development, control blood sugar levels and calcium levels for both blood and bones. And then we must encounter several endocrine glands with their hormones, target organs, and functions. So, gusto natin pag-usapan kung ano yung mga to. So, una, yung kanilang endocrine gland is hypothalamus, no? And then marami siyang iba't ibang klaseng hormones, just like thyrotropin releasing hormones or TRH. And then yung target organ or target organs niya is anterior pituitary gland. And then yung function niya is to stimulate the release of the thyroid, stimulating hormones, and prolactin. Next naman pong hormone is gonadotropin releasing hormones or GnRH. Target organ niya is yung anterior pituitary gland, no, or yung harapan, no, harapan ng pituitary gland. And then yung function niya is to stimulate the release of luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. And then yung next hormone is corticotropin releasing hormone or CRH. And then yung target organ niya is yun ulit, anterior pituitary gland. And then yung function niya is to stimulate the release of the adrenocorticotropic hormone. And then susunod na hormone is growth hormone releasing hormone. And then same din yung organs na pinupunteriya niya. And then yung kanyang function is to stimulates the release of the growth hormones. So ayun po siya. And then susunod naman nito is yung growth hormone inhibiting hormone or somatostatin. Ayan, medyo nakakabuli lang yung iba. Same pa rin yung kanyang target organ. And then, yung kanyang function is to inhibit release of growth hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, and insulin. Insulin, no? Correct me if I am wrong. Yung insulin medyo related siya dun sa pancreas, pero mamaya na, since natakal na natin to sa digestive system. And then, another endocrine gland is yung anterior pituitary gland, no? And then yung hormones niya or hormone niya is yung growth hormone or somatotropin. Target organs, they're either of the general body parts. No? And then yung function is to stimulate formation of carbohydrate from protein, thus elevating glycogen levels and helps maintain normal blood sugar levels. And then next hormone is prolactin. Target organs are the mammary glands. Yung function is to stimulate milk secretion by mammary glands, participates in control of reproduction, osmoregulation, growth, and metabolism. Then susunod naman dito is yung TSH or yung thyroid stimulating hormone or thyrotropin. And then yung target organs, they're the thyroid glands. And then yung function is to stimulate the thyroid to secrete thyroxine. Next naman pong hormone is yung adrenocorticotropic hormone or ACTH. Target organs are the adrenal cortex. Function is to stimulate the adrenal cortex to secrete hormones. And then yung next hormone is yung follicle stimulating hormone or FSH. Target organs just like yung ovary and testes. So yung function is to stimulate growth of ovarian follicles and of seminiferous tubules of the testes. And then next hormone are the luteinizing, nakalimutan ko yung letter I dito. Luteinizing hormone. I'm sorry, ulitin ko po yung pronunciation, yung spelling niya, Luteinizing. No, nakalimutan ko lang lagyan ng letter I. And then yung target organs is just almost the same, ovary and testes. And then yung function niya is to stimulate ovulation and conversion of follicles into corporal luteia. It stimulate and then another function is to stimulate secretion of sex hormones by ovaries and testes. And then yung next endocrine gland is yung posterior pituitary gland. And then yung hormones niya is yung oxytocin. And then yung target organs, yan yung mga uterine muscles and mammary glands. Function is to stimulate contraction of uterine muscles, stimulates release of milk by mammary glands. So, ayan po. And then next po yung vasopressin or antidiuretic hormone or APH. Target organs are the kidneys and blood vessels. Function niya is to stimulate increased water resorption by kidneys and stimulates constrictions of blood vessels. Next naman po is yung kanyang pancreas. So sa pancreas, ang hormones natin is yung insulin, and then yung target organ nito is yung liver. Function is to stimulate glycogen formation and storage, stimulates glucose oxidation, stimulates cellular uptake of amino acids and fatty acids. Yung amino acids, ito po yung building blocks ng protein, and then yung fatty acids, isa po siya sa building blocks ng lipids together with glycogen. And then syempre it is synthesis of protein and fats. And then next hormones is yung glucagon. Target organ again is yung liver, and then yung function is to stimulate conversion of glycogen into glucose, leading to increased blood glucose. So ayan po siya. Kumbaga kung i-compare natin dito yung insulin tsaka yung glucagon, ito yung natakal ko na to nung grade 8 pa lamang kayo sa digestive system. Pwede nyo tignan doon or ma-monitor pa kung ano-ano yung mga function pa ng pancreas. And then, kumbaga binalikan lang natin. And then next naman is yung adrenal medulla. Endocrine gland, yung adrenal medulla, and then yung hormones, they're the adrenaline and then epinephrine. And then yung target organs, they're liver and blood vessels. Function are to stimulate elevation of blood glucose concentration, and then stimulates fight or flight reaction. And then yung next hormone is noradrenaline or norepinephrine. No, yan. And then yung target organs natin ay yung mga blood vessels, and then yung function is to stimulate reactions similar to those produced by adrenaline but causes more vasoconstriction and is less effective in conversion of glycogen into glucose. So, ayun po. And then and another endocrine gland, ito yung adrenal cortex. Yung hormones, ito yung glucocorticoids. Then yung target organs niya, ito yung mga liver. Function niya is to stimulate formation of carbohydrate from protein, thus elevating glycogen level and help maintain normal blood sugar level. No? And then yung glucocorticoids, no, they're the corticosterone, cortisol, cortisone, etc. And then next po is yung mineralocorticoids. So, ang mineralocorticoids, ito yung mga aldosterone, deoxycorticosterone, and etc. Target organs, once again, is kidney. And then, yung function is to stimulate kidney tubules to reabsorb more sodium and water and less potassium. And then, next one is yung cortical sex hormones. And then, yung target organs niya is yung different body parts. Yung function niya is to stimulate development of secondary sexual characteristics, particularly sa mga males. And then yung susunod is yung thyroid gland, no, as one of the example of endocrine gland, no. And then yung hormones niya, ito yung mga calcitonin. Target organs, ito yung mga bones. And then yung function niya is to prevent excessive rise in blood calcium levels. And then next hormone is yung thyroxine or triiodothyronine, no, or yung triiodothyronine, it is together called as the thyroid hormones then. And then yung target organs niya is yung lungs and other body parts. Function is to stimulate oxygen uptake and oxidate metabolism, help regulate growth and development. And then parathyroid gland as one of the example ng endocrine gland. Ang mga hormones nito, ito yung mga parathyroid hormones or PTH. Target organ nito is yung mga buto, and then yung function is to regulate calcium phosphate balances, acts to increase blood calcium ion level. And then next naman po is yung pineal gland. Yung hormones nito is melatonin, and then yung target organs nito is yung anterior pituitary gland and hypothalamus. Yung function is to regulate the sleep and wake cycle or yung circadian rhythm natin. And then yung another endocrine gland is yung testes, and then yung hormones niya is yung testosterone. Target organs niya is yung testes and other reproductive organs and body parts of the male organism. And then yung function nito is to stimulate development and maintenance of male accessory reproductive structures, secondary sexual characteristics and behavior, and stimulates spermatogenesis, which is related dun sa gametogenesis natin. Related siya sa cell division. And then last two, no? So yung endocrine gland natin is yung ovaries. Bali last na lang yan, pero dalawa yung ating given hormones. The first hormone of the ovaries are the estrogen. Then yung target organs nito is yung mga female accessory reproductive structure or uterine lining. Then yung function niya is to stimulate development and maintenance of female accessory reproductive structures, secondary sexual characteristics and behavior, stimulates growth of the uterine lining. Then last hormone is yung progesterone. Target organs nito is yung uterus and other reproductive parts of the female. Then yung function is to prepare uterus for embryo implantation and helps maintain pregnancy. So it is evident that the endocrine system regulates several metabolic functions of the body just like the nervous system. It regulates general metabolism, reproduction, stress responses, fluid electrolyte balance, acid and base balance, and energy balances. These two regulatory systems work together in their control and coordination functions. Yung dalawang regulatory systems na yun yung nervous at saka endocrine system. Especially growth, general metabolic rate, stress-related functions, electrolyte balance, and many aspects of reproductive functions in male and female organisms. And then, sa hormone level, one good example of neuroendocrine control is evident in the regulation of the menstrual cycle. No? And then, the organ responsible for the nervous control of the menstrual cycle sa mga kababaihan to is yung hypothalamus. it controls the secretion of the follicle-stimulating hormone or FSH and the luteinizing hormone or LH by the anterior pituitary gland. The hypothalamus either secretes the gonadotropin releasing factors to stimulate FSH or LH secretion, or the gonadotropin inhibiting factors to inhibit the release of these two hormones. The menstrual cycle is divided sa tatlong phases, just like yung follicular, ovulatory, and then luteal, no, phases, no. So ayun po, nakikita po natin yung kanilang hormone level at saka yung follicular development nila in terms of days of cycle. So sa follicular cycle or sa follicular phase, this phase begins on the first day of the menstrual cycle or the first day of menstruation. This stage of the cycle is characterized by the development of follicles to a mature state. This phase ends just as ovulation begins. The female hormones that are increasingly secreted in this phase are the following. So, yun yung estrogen, which is secreted by the ovary for the gradual thickening of the inner uterine lining. The endometrium, this is to prepare the uterus to accept a fertilized egg. And then yung follicle-stimulating hormones, they're produced by the anterior pituitary glands. Its function is to get a follicle or a primary oocyte ready for ovulation. 3 up to 30 follicles are enhanced to mature every month for ovulation, but usually only one continues to grow and becomes released to form the ovum or egg during ovulation. So during ovulation, nandito na tayo sa ovulatory phase. So in this phase, a large amount of luteinizing hormone is secreted by the pituitary gland. This causes the release of the ovum or egg from the ovary. No? So in most females, this happens within 24 hours after the increase in the levels of the hormones. This is the shortest phase and occurs in the middle stage of the menstrual cycle. And then I think this is the last phase, which is the luteal phase. So after the ovum is released, the follicle closes and becomes a corpus luteum, which secretes increasing amount of progesterone. If the egg will not be fertilized, the progesterone levels will decrease along with the decrease in the levels of estrogen, causing the thickened lining of the uterus to separate and menstruation will follow. This phase is completed during the last 2 weeks of the cycle and ends just before the onset of menstruation. So ayun po, nasa cycle lang talaga siya. So ayun po, no? At natapos na natin yung topic natin for endocrine system, and then next topic naman natin is all about the human reproductive system, no? And then suddenly, no, kung meron kayong mga questions, clarifications, or concerns, just leave a comment below, and then like, comment, and subscribe, and then yun lamang po, kita-kits sa susunod nating lesson. So as of this moment, paalam.